Hello everyone, thank you again for tuning in to MLB Life Lessons. I want to take a moment to appreciate you and thank you for your emails, for your support, for liking the MLB Ministry Facebook page. That's very, very important. That's going to help us to continue to drive and bring this particular ministry and product to you. So you can connect with us both on Facebook, on YouTube, on Social Cam, and on Twitter. We would love to have your voice in our conversation. This is part 3 of my interview with my oldest daughter, KiYonna, who is doing just amazing things. And last Saturday she was the keynote speaker for our Youth Explosion, and she has her own organization, her own ministry, and we're going to talk about this ministry and a way that you can contact her. If there's some young woman that needs just somebody to mentor, to talk to, I want you to reach out. She will be a blessing in your life. I'm not saying this because she's my daughter, but I'm saying it because she's a phenomenal person in and of herself. And so welcome again to MLB Life Lessons.
Thank you.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about the impossible, possible beam. What you're doing. Tell us about that.
I thought about beam, and it's been a while, but God's walked me through it. But beam, because women, young ladies, do not know how to beam into their future. And beam means believe, expect, act, master. So it's just an all-inclusive, holistic approach to dreaming again, to believing again, to knowing who you are, and then going after for what you want. So that's my beam.
First of all, so it's BEAM, and how can people get in touch with you?
msbeam@gmail.com. So msbeam@gmail.com. No periods, anything like that.
Now, what you did last Saturday, you're coming back here to do a workshop with our high school graduates and our young women. Now, what's interesting, and I will tell you, that a number of people said after you spoke, including me, and as a matter of fact, I told you that sitting at the dais, I leaned over to her and said, that word inspired me. She was phenomenal. But a number of women from the spectrum,
yes,
talked about how they were inspired. Why do you think people have stopped dreaming?
Because they've hit so many roadblocks that it's like, well, what's the point anymore? They don't know how to encourage themselves and equip themselves to hurdle over these limitations that life has put on us. They don't know how to maneuver and dream again. And I think that's the lost art. No one knows how to dream. They don't want to be a kid, pretend, and go after what God wants for them.
You know, you also spoke about having intimacy with God. I thought that segment was phenomenal because there is so much false intimacy in the world. There is suggestions that having sexual relationship is intimacy, and that's not intimacy whatsoever. Just recapture that, and we can talk through how this beam concept is going to help people with their intimate issues.
I think that society, especially for young ladies, our intimacy, we kind of want to share it with everybody, or we're told that, hey, you know, you can be this, you can be that, promiscuous as being sexy, all of this stuff, but we don't know who we are, and we don't know what a true intimate relationship is until we've had one with God. Because that is the only one. That is our Father, our lover of our souls. And once we know what it really means to be loved, we won't accept this junk that society is giving us. We'll actually, love purity, love being modest, and love being a phenomenal woman in the church. Being a Christian, you can be sexy. Being a Christian, you can go get it, because that's what God has made you and equipped you with, so much more than what society says.
You know, it's interesting that a lot of people are looking for relationships, and we just want to mentor you around this, looking for relationships and based upon someone else's definition. And if you've never experienced the love of God, then it's going to be difficult for you to enjoy the love of another.
I totally agree. Yeah. And if you don't love yourself, then you can't enjoy the love of another.
So tell us about Beam. Tell us about, you've been traveling, you've been working with a mentor of yours, so let's talk about that for a minute.
Yes, Hannah Arrowwood is a dynamic, phenomenal woman, and she's an inspirational speaker that is mentoring me right now. And she goes around the country and even around the world now. She's been to Africa a couple of times, and she inspires girls, and it's called Who Am I? It's the Who Am I conference. And we just focus and have fun about who we actually are. what society says, what our parents says, but then what God says. And it's an amazing conference. And just from that and being with her, I kind of developed Beam because it was just, it made sense. It was beam me into your future, beam me into what you want, and actually focusing on planning of what do I need to do. I need to believe it first. I need to expect God for greatness and even expect failures along the way. I need to act in a way that I can receive it. And then I need to master the skill and go out and get what I want.
So mastering the skill, the last part of that, that's probably the most difficult part of the process.
Yes. It takes practice.
So there's a book called Outliers, and Outliers really talks about the fact that you won't master a thing when you bring 10,000 hours of your life to it. That's when you become a master of the situation. And so if we're going to beam ourselves both in our dreams and our ambitions and go after what we believe is our destiny, it is going to require a level of believing. Yes. And then acting upon what we believe.
Expecting.
Believing, then expecting.
Yes.
Because there are two different things. What's the distinction between believing and expecting?
Because believe, oh, I think I can do this. I know I can do this. Expecting it is, wait, I'm going to do this. I'm speaking it into existence and I'm working towards that. So I'm going to expect some failures. I'm going to expect some setbacks, but I'm going to expect greatness as well because this is what's been put inside me.
And then give me the A part again.
The A is act. So you do have to actually physically go after and get it. You can't sit in your bedroom and write a diary to yourself because you're not going to make those connections to, you know, put the dream into fruition. So that's what the acting is.
Jack Canfield has a wonderful book called The Success Principles, and in one of his chapters he talks about act as if. And part of this, I don't know about the beam thing, but part of it is act as if you're already in it.
Yes.
Act as if it's already happening.
Exactly.
Act as if you're already there. Because then that validates your expectation.
Exactly.
So actions validate expectation, right?
Yes.
And so then after we've acted, then we have to master.
Then we have to master.
So that's where the 10,000 hours of our life has to come in a very disciplined way.
Yes, and that's what a lot of people fail because then they give up. It's like, this is too much work. And if you can't get to the act, to the master, then it's not really for you. You have to put in the work.
So then you have to create another possibility for yourself.
Yes.
Because at some point you have to know that you've exhausted your energy in terms of this possibility, but it's not over.
No.
It's just that the thing you're focusing on may not be the very thing that's going to launch you into that possibility.
Exactly.
Wow. You are an amazing young woman.
Thank you.
Not only are you gorgeous, brilliant, smart, incredible, didactic, intellectual, inspiring, all that, she's my daughter. And so let's get them the information again to contact you.
Yes. msbeam, msbeam @gmail.com.
Hey, word has it that you're getting married.
I am. I am.
So you're freshly engaged.
I am.
And
yes.
What's his name?
Vonzel Jones, Esquire.
Esquire, Dr. Vonzel Jones. And matter of fact, he's here with us. And we're going to have a quick segment with Vonzel on our days. We will meet your family. Absolutely, you will meet my family. This is my family. I'm Matthew Brown. This is the MLB Life Lessons. We'll see you next week.